Hello, my name is Julie King, and I'm a 17-year-old Canadian citizen. In 2008, my grandmother was diagnosed with lung cancer. At 85 years old, she refused treatment, acknowledging the risks for someone of her age. For 8 months, from May to December of that year, she battled the disease. She struggled but held herself up straight, going about her business as usual. She's the strongest person I've ever known. Her only comment throughout the entire painful process was just this: I just wish it could have been peaceful. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers on YouTube, and specifically citizens of Canada, I am here today to talk to you about legalizing euthanasia. This issue has been extremely controversial lately, but I implore you, do not look at euthanasia as a choice between life and death, but a choice between peace and suffering. A way to help those who have been hindered, and a way to finally rest in peace. Euthanasia, as defined by Webster's Dictionary, is the act or practice of killing or permitting the death of hopelessly sick or injured individuals in a relatively painless way for reasons of mercy. Assisted suicide, on the other hand, which is often confused with euthanasia, is suicide that is simply helped and committed with the assistance of another person. The difference between these two processes is that one should be legalized and perhaps the other should not. Euthanasia is simply an alternate form of pain relief for those who experience unbearable suffering at the hands of a disease. It's a medical procedure that is carried out by a physician with consent from the patient. However, I do wish to stress that euthanasia is not for everyone and should be treated with the utmost care of any medical procedure. It should be looked at as a cure for patients suffering from terminal illnesses, no less, no more. Many people worry that if euthanasia is legalized, the system will be abused. Patients and elderly will be pressured into choosing the euthanasia procedure against their will. Yes, this could happen if we don't set strict regulations and rules about the procedure. I propose that we take an example from a country that has recently legalized the process. Luxembourg, they legalized euthanasia and assisted suicide in the spring of 2009. At the same time, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Social Security in the country came together and compiled this. This is a brochure outlining the legal framework that was set in place regarding euthanasia and assisted suicide. The brochure contains all the information necessary for both the patient and the doctor involved, including exactly what illnesses and disorders are necessary for both the patient and the physician, what illnesses and disorders the procedure is open to and who may request the procedure, what steps and precautions must be taken by the doctor beforehand, and how to draft the necessary documents. And in their legislature, the government of Luxembourg makes it clear that the doctor must consult with another physician before administering the procedure, and they must arrive at the same diagnosis, and that the request from the patient be recorded with their signature in writing. Using systems like this would eliminate the misuse of the procedure and make it safe for those who seek a more peaceful and dignified way to pass on. In Canada, this issue is not a new battle. The fight for the right to die has been being waged for decades. Sue Rodriguez, the most famous case of a mother in British Columbia battling with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. She took her case twice to the Supreme Court, begging to be allowed the right to die and end her suffering. Both times she lost the appeal. After 3 years of struggle against the courts, Rodriguez took her own life with the help of an anonymous physician. Now, Gloria Taylor in British Columbia raises the issue in the courts again, as she too battles against ALS and the right to die. There have been others all over Canada in between who've been fighting and almost always lost their right to die, resorting to illegal and potentially immoral means to reach their own peaceful end. Our country has promised us the right to life, liberty, and security of the person. We have been promised the right to not be subjected to any cruel or unusual treatment or punishment. We have been promised the benefit of a democratic legal system that listens to its citizens. So please, listen, Canada. There are citizens who are alive and suffering, many with no foreseeable future other than pain. It is all they will encounter, and yet we sit back and decide to let it destroy them slowly. Every person in our country has the right to life. Why do we refuse them the right to die? Thank you.